As kids, we all have that one person that we idolized growing up. Whether that's in sports, movies, or music. Now, imagine you getting that chance to either be with that person or take that person's place. Wouldn't you consider that's a huge accomplishment? Well, that exact thing happened to Damon Harris. Now, without further ado, let's cue that intro. Born Otis Robert Harris Jr. on July 17, 1950 in Baltimore, Maryland. Now Otis, his father was a barber. And as a young kid, his family discovered that young Otis could actually sing. So he would join his church's choir. Now, during the late 60s, the Temptations, they was the hottest group around. Like, everyone wanted to be a Temptation. Like, everyone in the world. Otis, he had idolized the Temptations, but most importantly, he idolized Eddie Kendricks. He studied every move, even trying to hit the same high notes as Eddie. Now Otis, he would go as far as creating a group with some childhood friends at the age of 15 in 1965. They would model themselves from the Temptations and even call themselves the Young Temps. In 1970, they would gain the attention of T-Neck Records that was owned by the Isley Brothers. The group that would go on to record 2 songs for the label, with I've Been Good to You and Too Busy Thinking About My Baby. Motown, they would get wind of the group and sue T-Neck Records for the play of the Temptations' name. The result in this would see the group change their name from the Young Temps to the Young Vandals or the Vandals. They would release 2 more songs under the label with In My Opinion and I'm Gonna Wait For You. Now Otis, he would graduate from Northwestern High School. Now after graduation, the Young Vandals would break up, mainly because Otis believed getting a degree was more important than chasing a music career. This shows how wise Otis was at a young age. April of 1971, Otis' life would change forever. A friend of his convinced him to go try out for the Temptations since they was holding auditions nearby in Washington, D.C. Now around this time, Eddie Kendricks, he had left the group and they was short one member and missing that important piece from the group, a falsetto singer. There was almost 300 people coming to audition. So when Otis got his turn, he had to perform in front of Blue, Richard, and Dennis. Then only after all 3 approved, he could see Otis Williams himself. Now Otis, he would be the chosen one out of 300 people. Now Otis Williams, he was hesitant to hire him since he was so young. I mean, he was only 20 while everyone else was in their late 30s pushing 40. But like I said earlier, he was a big fan of the group and studied every move of Eddie Kendricks. He was born for this. This was his moment to make his dream come true. After proving to Otis that he was worthy enough to become a Temptation, they would change his name to Damon. February 4th, 1972, Damon made his debut for the group in his hometown of Baltimore. In 1973, Damon, he got married to Christina Combs. Now the 4 years that Damon spent as a member of the Temptations, he either sung lead or shared vocals on songs like Superstar that was released on October 17th, 1971. Now this song would reach number 10 on the R&B charts and number 18 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts. Take a Look Around didn't chart. Papa Was a Rolling Stone that was released on September 28th, 1972 and reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts and number 5 on the R&B charts. Also, this song will go on to go certified platinum. And the song will also bring home a Grammy Award. That was followed up by Masterpiece that reached number 1 on the R&B charts, Plastic Man, and Love Woke Me Up This Morning. 1975, Damon he was fired from the group. Now, according to Otis' book, Damon he was fired for making inappropriate comments that affected the group's perception in the public eye. After his release from Motown, Damon he moved to Philadelphia. Now here in Philly, Damon got back together with the Young Vidals. They would change their name to Impact, and they signed a record deal with Atco Records in 1976. The group was filling out sounds to see what fits best for the group. They released songs that had a mixture of soul and disco like Happy Man and Give a Broken Heart a Break. Now this song had reached number 5 on the Billboard disco charts. In 1976, the group released their self-entitled debut album. Now after performing low in sales, Atco Records, they released them as a result. In 1977, the group they signed to Fantasy Records. Following the signing, they released a second album called The Pack Is Back. This album suffered for very low sales. The group would break up after the album, and Damon he would go on to try his hand in a solo career. In 1978, Damon's solo album was released titled Silk. Now this album had one single coming out of it called It's Music. And this album also performed very low in sales. Now Damon he didn't see very much success as a solo artist, so he would take a step away from music. And he would use this time to chase another dream. Damon he would move to Reno, Nevada, and enroll himself at the University of Nevada, where he would earn a degree in music. He would also teach special educational students at Earl Wooster High School. Damon he would make a comeback to music and be a part of the tour that was centered around Eddie Kendricks, Dennis Edwards, and David Ruffin. He would be a part of this tour until the death of Eddie Kendricks. In 1998, Damon he was diagnosed with prostate cancer at the age of 47. Now, Damon's father had also had battles with prostate cancer in the past. And Damon he had watched the pain that his father had suffered and vowed to do something about it. So in 2001, Damon he founded the Damon Harris Cancer Foundation. Damon he will go on to have 5 children, and he's a grandfather of 14. On February 18th, 2013, Damon Harris he would pass away at the age of 62 due to prostate cancer. Damon Harris is a legend in his own right. Not only did he accomplish a dream that many had dreamt of, but he did it with a bang. He forever solidified his stamp in history for his lead vocals in some of the group's biggest hits during this time period, where most counted them out. Damon he was outspoken, which is why his tenure with the Temptations was short. Nevertheless, Damon, he's a Motown legend. Thanks to all my subscribers for watching, and those that's not a subscriber, thank you as well. If you like what you see and would like to see more, check out a few more videos. And until then, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.